Paralegal Club President, and I'd like to welcome you all to, I think it's the 44th meeting, I'm starting to lose track, of the 47th year of the Dublin Worthington Rotary Club. Today's invocation and pledge of allegiance will be offered by Wynn. So,
he's on his way, but I'll take care of it.
thank you, George.
Dear Lord, thank you so much for your presence in our life. And some of the things that have happened in the last 24 hours are treacherous. So hard to understand. Please help us understand and keep those people in their perspective. Bless this faith for our use. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, I wasn't quick enough for the Zoom folks, but there it is anyways.
Nice people, moving things along.
All right. Yes, we can get all the rest. All right, a visiting Rotarians and guests. I believe we have at least two. We have our current Assistant District Governor, Wolf Lance. Let's give them my favorite one clap welcome. 1, 2, 3. I am just off. And then we have our new incoming Assistant District Governor, Dave Dewey. All right, excellent. Look around, I don't see any other guests. Oh, yeah, John Butterfield. He's a guest today. Good to see you, John. All right, now we are ready for our sergeant, Mr. Phil Giesler.
Okay, thank you. I always have to bring that down the microphone, so I usually don't find the president because that's not appropriate, but he leaves it up when I'm sergeant, which means that I have to go like this and bring it down. So put in $1 after the president, and with certain high respect for you. Thank you. Well, thank you for being here, and this is full of possibilities here as far as who's going to be the pot carrier. Do we, and I'm not sure. I think I'll find all three of the people that I was thinking about. But do we find Butterfield because he decided to come back and join us from the Zoom world? Or do we find those people who have come back from the Sunshine States just because they have? Butterfield. Yeah, all right. So that means you're up next. And or from the West Coast, and or from Arizona, and or from wherever one might have been. But other circumstances, Alan, you're correct. It's got to be Butterfield. Because he, I want to see him walk, I want to see him talk, but he's not going to talk. But I want to see him put the dollars in that he did not put in when he was on Zoom, that he is probably needing to do. So,
It's
Mr.
only
Butterfield,
fair.
pardon me?
It's only fair. It's only fair.
I know, but Mr. Zake, I think you had quite a few more.
I did last week.
Yeah,
Okay.
and because,
Well, yeah, but not under my.
Alan said he kept track, I didn't keep track, I'll put $10 in. So.
Okay, and Alan, you put some in last week, but I wasn't sergeant last week, I wasn't here, so you get to put more in. In any case, having recognized those gentlemen, any happy dollars for those who were here? Mr. Barnhart, sir.
I've got happy dollars.
Real loud, excuse me.
They should be able to hear on the new camera.
Okay, new camera.
I'll go a little closer. I've got happy dollars for about 3 different reasons. One, I was in 5th place for the raffle. Judy and I decided to eat the raffle tickets. We normally sell them to the South Side Rotary Club, Sarasota. And we told them, well, you missed out because there was a winner, $250, and for myself. Very happy about that. Secondly, we're very happy about being back in Ohio, albeit about 2.5 weeks late. 4 weeks ago today, this is my third and really happy dollar. Third week, or 4 weeks ago today, at 7:30 in the morning, I'm driving my lovely bride Judy to a doctor's appointment. And I flatlined for 7 seconds. I have AFib. And I was on Midnight Pass on CSTP. The next thing I'm looking at a tree, a palm tree that I tried to knock down with our white Cadillac XRX, which got totaled. And with us in it, the airbags didn't go off, so I'm not sure why, or how fast I was actually going, but it totaled that car. Next day, at Sarasota Memorial Hospital, after spending 3 days there, I did get a pacemaker, which I'm very happy with. And the doctors here and there, Dr. Public, Dr. Hummel of Ohio State University Ross Hospital here, and also Dr. Culp, who did it down at Sarasota Memorial, said that won't happen again. And I'm very happy about that. Judy came out unscathed. I had some bruises, but not of any consequence. Glad to get the pacemaker, glad to be back, glad to be alive, having died from 7 seconds 4 weeks ago this day in April 27th. Thank you.
We probably took less time than that.
That was Peter, we're glad. Judy, we're glad.
I have a few. Celebrated our one granddaughter graduated from high school to St. Mary's. I have a granddaughter that went from junior high going into high school. And I have a grandson going from elementary school and middle school. And the big thing is Glenn and I celebrated our 50th anniversary last week.
Oh, wow. Actually,
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
There are a couple good happy dollars. Anybody else for happy dollars? Mr. President?
I don't know that I'm happy about this, but it's a birthday, so my daughter Ruthie is turning 3 on Friday. But I mean, it's good, right? But like, it's still sad. So is that a happy dollar? I don't know.
It's a wonderful dollar.
It's a wonderful dollar.
It's a wonderful dollar. That's a happy one, definitely.
Yeah.
Alan?
I'll put it to $2 because I'm happy that my granddaughter started this weekend. So much cares about those other kids. And Jeff pointed out that I'm here representing Jake from State Farm today. I'm happy to do that.
what are you wearing, Jackie?
Okay, any other happy dollars? I would think that it would be appropriate for the superintendent of schools, who happens to be in attendance today, to be very happy that all of his responsibilities are over for the next 4 months. Is that true? A Board of Education member, is that true?
We always say that we want kids in school, so it's a sad day. It's the last day.
It's a sad day, and I think in response to that, it still is a happy dollar. It reminds me that anybody anywhere in the United States of America who is affiliated with any elected position at any spot, we should be very, very appreciative of, and very, very, and be recognizing the fact that life is not necessarily good because you won an election. Matter of fact, it can be the most humbling and most toughest job in the world. So to that group, I had a short meeting with the Sergeants Committee before this. And it was decided that to all elected officials, to those in education, to those in the government, to those in any other position except some social group that you don't have to worry about anything and everybody loves everybody anyhow. We are contributing to the fund so that nobody else has to worry about the questions which I was going to ask today that would embarrass a few people here. We'll wait until later, but to you people who are in this crowd and on Zoom, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. All right, I think now we're ready for announcements. So if you have announcements, please make your way up here. We'll start with Wolf.
Good afternoon, everybody. I've got a couple of announcements today. Number one, there are some district-wide things going on. The luggage collection, which I understand you guys are participating in. This is a luggage collection, gently used or new luggage or dollars for foster kids. And so we're trying to help them, improve their life a little bit, give them a way that they can transfer their stuff from one foster home to another, which oftentimes happens multiple times a year. So that's district-wide until the end of this month. The RI convention is June 4th, so hopefully you're signed up for that. Price Finley's installation is on June 25th at 11:30 at First Community Church. That'll be a great celebration, and it's also basically a picnic, so not quite as formal as it usually is. Hope you can come to that. And then they're also collecting food to distribute to their food bank there as part of that. Lastly, I wanted to thank your club and your past presidents and incoming presidents, president-elects. I will stop being your assistant governor July 1st, and Dave Dewey, who is here with us today, Dave, if you can stand up, he will take over that role moving forward. So wanted to thank all of you, Alan, Teresa, thanks for all your support. I really appreciate it. Lastly, I've got a couple of 125 pins to hand out to Frank Dunbar III, if he is here, and Mark Beaver.
Nope.
Okay.
Striking out.
Striking out. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll leave those with you.
Perfect. And thank you, Wolf. You've done a phenomenal job helping us be the liaison for the district, and it's been a great experience. I'm sad to see you go, but I'm also excited to work with Mr. Cooper. Okay, Rich, I believe in kind of the spirit of 125, I think you have some announcements.
Yes, I do. One, I want to thank everyone in the club. Our club has done a tremendous job this year with the Rotary International Foundation. So far this Rotary year, club members have contributed about $12,800 to the annual fund and an additional $900 to Polio Plus, for a total of about a little more than $13,700, which has already exceeded our goal by about $3,700. So please give yourself a hand for that. Additionally, so many of the people in our club have donated at least $100 to the annual fund during this Rotary year. But some of you who have done that have not yet made at least a $25 pledge to the Polio Plus. So I'm going to be contacting those that are either close to the $100 contribution to the annual fund this Rotary year, or are at it or exceeded it. If you haven't made the Polio Plus contribution, just to remind you, you have the opportunity to also qualify for a 125 pin. Again, that's for $100, at least $100 during the Rotary year for the annual fund. And also $25 to Polio Plus. So I'll be letting you know within the next week. We'd have to get that done sometime in June for you to qualify for the 125 pin for this Rotary year. I did want to mention we have 2 active 5x5 clubs and one that's just completed. A 5x5 club means that you commit to making at least $200 a year for 5 years contribution to the annual fund. The recently completed club included Darnell Perkins, Ro Morrow, Ted Imbush, Connie Hendren, And there was also one that the club donated. Bill Shantz had started it until he passed away, and the club completed that. And then there are 2 in progress: Courtney Chapman, Rachel Dorothy, myself, Steve Pairley, and Tim Shear. And then there's also one with Alan Grossman, Dave Hansen, Tom Weithman, Teresa Russell, and there's also one that had been started by Ann Pachekic, and I think we'll end up doing something in her honor eventually as well. The last thing I wanted to mention, if you recall, towards the end of last Rotary year, we did a Paul Harris Fellow Community Award through points at the club. The club has accumulated thousands of points because of contributions that it has made or some of the members have made. We honored Sandy Byers, Catherine Paw, and Jody Cooper. We'd like to do it again for either at this Rotary year or the beginning of next. So we're going to be distributing forms for people to make nominations for people either for the Worthington or Dublin communities that have shown great leadership in that community. So I think it went extremely well last year in honoring these individuals who did a great job for the Dublin or Worthington community, and we'd like to do it again. So we'll be getting those nomination forms out to you. And once we have some nominations to consider, we do have a committee, which you're welcome to join. I'm chairing that. Mary Greenleen, Don Motley, and Darnell Perkins is also on that committee. And we will review those nominations and again, come up with up to 3 award winners for this Rotary year or the very beginning of the next one. So that's my announcement for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. I'd like to add that for one, you're doing a phenomenal job, and we're very lucky to have you in that role, so thank you. For 2, one mistake, it's not a mistake. I had my Polio Plus donation automatically set up through Rotary.org to happen in June, but it kind of makes it kind of a pain. You might as well just do it early and do it in July. That way, you're done and taken care of, and everybody, you get your pin early. So, moral of the story is donate early and often. Okay, Mike.
Thanks, Steve. Okay, a week from Friday is our golf outing, our club golf outing. It's going to be held at Glen Ross in Delaware, Cheshire Road. I still have openings available, and I will take anybody to sign up until next Wednesday's meeting. After that, I have to turn it into the club for them to go sign all the cards. So raise your hand today. I'll put you on the list. If not, let me know by next Wednesday and we'll get you signed up to play. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. And Jeff?
Thanks, Steve. Our fundraising efforts for the picnic, the 4th of July family picnic, are continuing. So we're getting, more and more corporate sponsors, company sponsors, continuing to commit to the $500 level or above. But in years past, we've always had a really good response from individual club members that aren't sponsoring as company sponsors, and those $100 donations or whatever you can give really add up and allow us to usually net some money out of the picnic that we can put back to scholarship and some other programs. So if you are still willing to do that this year, I'm going to be sending out a mass email. Pete, thank you, Judy. And you can respond to that and just say yes, and then we'll put it on your bill. And as always, if you have any additional company leads, let me know. I know Roger Johnson's tracking a couple down right now, so those are always appreciated, and we can make the ask if you don't want to do that. So feel free to push those my way for at least the next couple 3 weeks. Thanks.
I have some other announcements. The installation dinner is going to happen on June 29th. It will be a 5th Wednesday, so it's kind of an installation rah-rah, we'll call it. It'll be semi-formal. It'll be here, and it will be catered, and it will be open to all club members and spouses. As part of that, we will have a rookie and Rotarian of the year, and so Jim Miller's hoping we had that up, and he has asked that if you have a nomination for a rookie or or Rotarian of the Year, to please send that to him no later than Tuesday of next week, with your rationale as to why they should be Rookie or Rotarian of the Year, because that committee will be meeting directly after this meeting next week to discuss those nominations. So please get those over to them. And there will be more details to come about the installation generator, at least right now, it's the 29th year. Thank you to Katie, and Christy, and Jim Miller for helping coordinate that. Okay, I think we're ready for our program.
That'd be you.
We have always been so fortunate here in the Worthington area to have great Chamber of Commerce leaders. We have our own John Butterfield, who was the director of the Chamber for a while. We have our last year Paul Harris Award community member, Catherine Paw, who was director. And now our newest director is here to introduce himself and talk about the Chamber today, Matt Lofi. He started with the Worthington Chamber in August of 2021, which I can't believe it's been that long. He came to us from the Westerville Chamber. He has a very interesting background that he'll talk about, but the one item of note I want to mention that I think he'll probably talk about is that he is also a podcaster, and he has a podcast called the Dad Ask Podcast. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, it's really very fun to listen to. So I think he'll probably talk about that a little bit too, along with the Chamber. So please help me in welcoming Matt Lofi. You're all set. Steve will help you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here and to try not to bore you about everything that I want to cover. I want to tell you, I'm a little distracted because I was trying to think, I don't have a happy bump to give because I gave the remaining cash to my wife yesterday, who is in desperate need of a Starbucks to make her afternoon better. But I was like, what in my personal life am I most happy about recently? And here it is. Our son is 2.5, so we're 3 in October, so I'm close to you. And right now, although we are on the dinosaur kick and Spidey, which is a kid's version, they're kids being Spider-Man, not an adult. We are now scared of dinosaurs in the house and monkeys. Don't know where the monkeys came from. So of course, and I'm sure you all have your own stories from your own kids or grandkids. I'm trying to think to myself, how do I tell him the house is safe? That there's a 0% chance of dinosaurs ever being under your crib or in the house. And we got a roof replaced. And I told him, do you remember all that noise when the roof got replaced last week? He goes, yeah, there's a force field around the house that no monkeys, dinosaurs, and he threw a third thing out there, didn't know that third thing. I was like, and that too. And we have not had a dinosaur scare since last week, Friday. And that was the happiest moment in my personal life of the last couple of weeks. So anyway, sorry, I was really distracted after talking about happy bucks. What am I happy about? Professionally, I'm super excited because I'm 8 months old in this position. It feels like 8 years old because the first full week I was on the job, the mask mandate started. Just to put in comparison some of the things that the board, myself, and Crystal on our team have faced since I've been here the final week of August, beginning of September. But I want to share with you a little bit today about who I am, because I have not had the honor of meeting all of you personally yet. I want to share a little bit of who the Chamber is, what our makeup is currently. And I want to share a little bit that maybe you already know about the Chamber. And then I want to share with you some of the things that come with an investment support of the Chamber. With that being said,
Uh-oh. It's the right button, right?
Yeah.
Let me try it again.
there we go. I am the new guy. I, like I said, am 8 months old. I have spent the last 8+ years in different chamber roles in Westerville. And every role but the executive leadership position, starting from events to communications to leading leadership Westerville as part of that role. In those years in the chamber, I had the honor of working with Catherine actually on several different chamber, Central Ohio Chamber events. So I was a little bit familiar with the Worthington Area Chamber of Commerce even prior to her retirement and applying. I do not live in Worthington. Prior to this position, though, outside of working with Catherine in a few different events, I knew Zaftig, Porch Growler, and we have the best farmers market in Central Ohio. And since then, I'm trying very hard to get more deeply ingrained in our community. And then prior to that, in my career, I have been in numerous communication and leadership roles, and then also 8 years serving in the United States Coast Guard. And very excited that I've always been community driven and fortunate enough to be in a community leadership position. With that being said, I wasn't going to reference it, but I do have a podcast too that's a personal passion project of mine, because even in my single days, I wanted to aspire to be the best hands-on father and most supportive husband I could be. And the best way to do that is put a microphone into someone's face, offer them a beverage and say, teach me your ways. And actually two years later, actually next week's our 2-year anniversary, we will be going into our 3rd year, and we are currently the podcast of the year here in Columbus. With that being said, I wasn't going to say anything about the podcast, so thank you, Jennifer. I want to share a little bit of the makeup of our current Chamber of Commerce. We are right around 500 active member businesses, with about 73% of them, or really rounding up, 3/4 being 9 employees or less. 20% of our chamber makeup is right around the 10 employees to 20 employees in makeup. And then, of course, having members much larger like Worthington Industries, our hospital systems, being some of those larger employers that still invest within our chamber and our community, as I'm sure you're aware of. What I'm excited to share in terms of our makeup, we're able to connect and represent the business interests of about 17,000 to 18,000 employees, roughly, ranging in about 170 industries, or at least that's what our database tells us. I don't really know what the 170 industries are, but some of them get a little fine where it's like financial and insurance or insurance. But anyway, across industries, we're able to bring these businesses and business leaders together in some of our events that I'll share with you here momentarily. And then up here on the slide, and I don't have this memorized quite yet, in ranking order, the top industries that our chamber represents here in the greater Worthington area are the restaurants, banks, and financial, followed by then our attorneys and insurance agents. Just to kind of give you that makeup of our top industries that we represent. Some of the benefits that we offer, let me stop there. Some of the benefits that I want to share with you that aren't necessarily what we are actively promoting on our website, like cost savings, group rated health insurance, and other insurance, or I'm sorry, other benefits of joining. Those are things that I'll show you and breeze over real quick. That's not the important part. What I wanted to share with you of benefits of investing in your chamber, and this is one of the things that I've always said, you know what, one day I'm going to better communicate this if I ever have the chance. Anyone within a member business can participate in our business networks. So if you are a business owner and you have women colleagues and they want to participate in our women's business network, well, sign them up. Let them use that women's business network as a development opportunity to grow and to connect with other business women throughout the greater Worthington area. If you have young professionals within your network or within your business, sign them up or have them sign up a online account in our online member portal to use and leverage those opportunities that we're providing in those business networks to help grow them, to help them help your business because they're getting better connected and getting enriched with skills from the development opportunities and networking opportunities. And that's one of the things in my 9-ish years of being in the chamber world that I always like to share with people up front, because sometimes we think, well, I'm the business owner, I'm the sole representative of the business. And that's one of the member benefits of joining our chamber. One of the things that we're doing now is we have a massive conference room. And so one of the benefits that we're offering now, and I'm trying to spread the word, is if you have a place that you need to house a 20-person or 15-person meeting, chamber members are able to rent that room for up to 2 hours for free, and then we have small rental costs after that. So there's a space for you to be able to host those meetings. And then what I'm most excited about is that all of our special interest networks that I kind of referenced just a few seconds ago are back. With the guidance and leadership of board members or business leaders who wanted to bring these networks back, we were able to bring them back within months and weeks of 2022. And so I'm super excited to be able to have these opportunities that are back. And of course, weren't able to meet or be as relevant as it could be during COVID. And so I'm super excited. And tomorrow, if you employ YPs or young professionals in your network, or you just want to come and learn more about that network, we're hosting a happy hour and headshot event at Zaptic Brewing tomorrow from 3:30 to 5. And I encourage you to come so you can learn about what that network's doing and to share that with those that you work and serve with. And then you're probably thinking, well, define young. And I'm not going to, but if you feel youngish, or young professionals or emerging leaders, then you should be there and they should be there. So that will be tomorrow. And so with that being said, those are just some of those things that I wanted to kind of share, because I want to make sure everyone knows, just because you're the business owner doesn't mean you have to be the only one representing your business. Your colleagues and your team members can be too. And since I'm the new guy here, I'm sure you're probably well aware of some of our events, but for some of you who aren't, our major community events are listed here. The biggest ones being our Old Worthington Market Day, which is going to be October 8th. Dr. Lordo, who is our just guru of that event and logistics wizard, and the man that gets up at 2 a.m. to mark tent spots. We have so many ideas of how we're going to continue to grow Market Day and to make it the event that Worthington has loved and supported for so many years. And I'm excited to get his ideas and the new businesses that are helping us resurrect this event in its second year since taking a break during COVID. So that's gonna be Saturday, October 8th. Another great community event we just had a couple weeks ago was Reds, Whites, and Desserts. It's as advertised if you haven't been there before. There's red wine, white wine, and desserts. There's Paul Simcar, there's myself, there's a silent auction. It's a good time. This year we had a jazz band that played classic rock covers. Of all the feedback that we got, it was to please bring the band back, duly noted. And it's a great time, and it's open to the community. Those are our two primary community events, our largest. But one event that I think is one of our most dynamic and powerful, but the least attended, is our monthly coffee and conversations. That's our monthly update from City Hall of all things economic development, to hear what's going on in all different portions of the community, and to stay abreast of all those changes. Your chamber is working closely with David McCorkle and Lee Brown at City Hall to ensure that our business community is staying well ahead of the changes coming, and to drive that voice of our business community. Because at the heart of the chamber world, we want to serve our chamber members and those that are giving back to our community, but we also want to make sure that we're providing a strong, united voice for our business community in Greater Worthington. I also wanted to share with you one of the things that we're most excited about in the first 8 months working together as a board with me in this role, is that we have upgraded our website and our database. It's really boring. I'm not going to bother you with all of those details. I geek out about stuff like this and analytics and all of it. But now on our website, all of our member businesses can post to our community calendar. You're opening your doors, or you're partnering with other businesses or nonprofits, put that on the community calendar. You have access to your online portal to do that. We have now a substantial increase of web traffic that Crystal and I celebrate all the time. We're now getting just about 7,000 plus coming to our website each month. There's two areas that they're coming to. Our online directory, which I think is the go-to business resource and one of the best things that we offer our business community. And the second is our community calendar. So if you're a member, and I know that the Rotary is, you can be putting all of those on the community calendar at no cost to you, and just to hit a different demographic and audience that you're already hitting. For our member businesses, not only on there, if you have a job listing, post that. That's the third most let me rephrase that was not how I wanted to phrase it. The third most traffic, there we go, not traffic hit, and then we're getting down to dark hole in that one then. The number 3 spot being visited is our job listings. And then we also have an area that our member businesses can share news and accolades in our online member portal that goes to our website and database. But then also we can take those and put those in our newsletter that are going again to 500 businesses and about 1,800 emails and inboxes. So that's the nickel tour of your Worthington area chamber. There's a lot more I can geek out about and bore you to tears about, but Jennifer Best told me not to go over 15 minutes or else. And as the new guy, I want to make sure that I adhere to that. I think I did it in 14 minutes so that I can always, be like, wow, that guy was really respectful of our time, and we can start on a good note working together. But I look forward to meeting all of you one-on-one. I hope to see you at a business after hours or at our YP mixer or at a coffee and conversation or in any other capacity. But I look forward to working with you more as your board and your chamber does more for our community and businesses. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Sorry. If you're accepting questions.
Will you talk a little bit about our Rotary Club being members, and we've got 8 people here, but what are our benefits, or what can we attend?
Certainly.
How
Yes.
to handle big groups like this?
Certainly. Well, first off, and thank you for bringing that up. I am so very sorry that the first 2 major luncheons that I planned as executive director of the Worthington Area Chamber fell on a Wednesday during the lunchtime. Duly noted, won't make that mistake a third time. I told you, Barry, I felt awful when you're like, you do realize the best Rotary group, like in Central Ohio, meets at noon. I was like, oh. But the first, oh geez. But the first one you can blame on Punxsutawney Phil, because the Groundhog's Day was not my fault. That fell on a Wednesday. Anyway, as a chamber member, you are able to participate and come to the events on behalf of the Rotary. We just need to make sure that you have a login to the online portal so you can register, or you can always call Crystal or I to be able to register you. Or if you don't register for some of our free events, like a business after hours, we just wouldn't have you on the registration list for an awesome pre-printed name tag for you. But if you do want to stay informed of everything that your chamber's doing, you want to get our monthly events bulletin, you want to get our newsletter, then give us your email and we'll add you as a representative for this Rotary group. Because we'd love for you to stay in the know. And if you are a business owner or you are signed up through the chamber and you're not getting the best newsletter ever, please check your spam and your firewall, because we're sending it third week of each month.
Matt, did you just say that everyone in this room is eligible to go to the business after hours and drink free alcohol?
Yeah, absolutely. You can represent the group and be a part of it. And the business after hours go to different businesses each month. Our hope, not this first year, just because, like I said, the beginning of my time in this role was in a mask mandate. Our hope, though, is to bring back about 10 a year business after hours, with our next one being a small business focused business after hours at Cohatch in July. Some of our smallest businesses that don't have a storefront or an office that they want us to go in their house. We're like, well, what can we do? And we said, well, you know what, we'll get 4 or 5 small businesses to host one, and we'll do it at Cohatch so we can open the doors and let people learn about your business, because that's not fair that you can't do that because you don't have a storefront. So that'll be in July. And I heard there'll be wine there too.
Well, it's clear that you're gonna have at least one more attendee.
I like it. Please do. Your chamber is making big strides here in 2022. The only way we can do it is by partnerships and working together. So any way that we can serve you, that I can serve you, or any questions I can answer or lie, and then come back to you with an email with the real answer, I will do.
Hey, Jeff, and in addition to getting free booze and food, it's a great recruitment opportunity for us to get new members. For example, Paul Sinkar came out of that experience. And I asked him and he said, sure, I think I can do that. It was so easy.
Yeah.
So,
And then it's been downhill ever since. So, yes, sir.
if you tell us a little about yourself. Where did you grow up?
Yeah. I grew up in Medina, Ohio, just south of Cleveland. LeBron James would probably say it's more Akron based than Cleveland, but I think it's more Cleveland based. I went to Otterbein College. It wasn't a university at that time, studied PR and broadcasting, and then served 8 years in the United States Coast Guard as a bosun's mate. So my background, military wise, is in law enforcement and search and rescue.
Where were you stationed?
I was stationed at Small Boat Station Fairport up on Lake Erie, and then I volunteered and went down and spent some time for urban search and rescue after Katrina, and then some time out in somewhere else. Geez, where are we going? Buffalo, New York. There we go. I was like, New York, which one? And then outside of that, I just celebrated my 5th wedding anniversary to what my friends will say, a woman who I outkicked my coverage. And she married down with my beautiful wife, who's from Dublin, and then her son Tuckerman, who is going to be 3 in October. So that's a little bit about myself. I also like bourbon. I felt like I should end with something fun.
Tell us about how Tuckerman got his name.
Back in my mid-20s, I was a tripping guide in Maine and New Hampshire, and I worked at a youth camp. And I did age-appropriate hikes and backpacking trips. Age-appropriate meaning if there were 8, we're surely not going to summit a mountain. And one of the most special places I've ever been, and then took my wife as our first trip as a married couple, was to Mount Washington in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. And we went up Tuckerman Ravine. And we weren't even thinking about kids at the time. And we were on our way to Tuckerman Brewing. Afterwards, she goes, you know, we have a beautiful name. And I said, what's that? If we're blessed with a boy, Tuckerman Matthew. And I said, you know what, if we have a boy? And then lo and behold, two years later, we had a boy. But it's after the mountain, not the brewery. We just have to be going. And so in this room, I have a picture I took on one of my trips of Tuckerman Ravine. And then I put it in a windowsill. So on a wall that doesn't have a window, Tuckerman can always look at his mountain. There's no dinosaurs there. Thank you so very much. I look forward to working with all of you.
All right. Fantastic. So next week, we're going to have a special fund assembly. Let me stop the screen. We're going to have a special fund assembly. And as part of that, we're going to have Romaro and our Interact kids come and talk to us for about 10 minutes. And then after that, we're going to have a club committee fair. And a club committee fair is our 8 major committees coming up and basically telling us how great they are, why you should become a member of their committee. And then when all 8 of them have spoke, we'll pass around a sign-up sheet and people can sign up for, committees for next year. This is perfect timing, it'll be June 1st. We'll be ready for July 1st. So make sure that if you can attend that event, please do. It's going to be a very important meeting. Okay, and now I think we're ready for a raffle. Who's doing the raffle?
I got it.
Oh, no.
All right, we got a tin box. Right. And the last 3, 780.
780. 10 bucks.
He comes back and wins.
Everything's coming up.
Comes back and wins. There you go. You're very welcome. All right, we have $205. Piece of spades. That's 3, 7, 6, 8.
7, 6, 8.
6, 8. Ah.
You know how many cards we have?
No. Less than 52. They're over there. How much was it? 205?
205.
205. What is this?
7 of clubs.
7 of clubs? No good. Please tear it up.
Still growing.
All right. I think we're ready for our 4-way test. Oh, wait.
Yes, next week, a new meeting or a rah-rah meeting?
A new meeting.
A new meeting.
Yes, sir. Right here, same place, same time.
Gonna build drafts. We're gonna draft committee.
All right, if you'll repeat with me of the things we think, say, and do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it
fair to all concerned?
Third,
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
And 4, will it
Be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. We are adjourned.
Steve, you go to the convention?
Yeah. Fantastic. Are you going to the district happy hour on Monday?
Yeah, I don't have to worry.
MJ sent something out.
Did they send anything out? Yeah,
I think
I'm
so.
sure I'll be there, so I'll figure it out, right? My club, so I gotta beat on him.
Oh, yeah.
You know that goes.
What club is he in?
You have upper.
Oh, up Arlington, okay. That makes sense.
We'll touch base, get together.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Share some info, whatever you're doing. So the rah-rah is an evening or a happy hour kind of deal?
Yeah, every 4 times a year, we do a Rotary after hours. That's what it's called. And it's on the 5th Wednesday, which is, there's 4 a year. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's cool. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Steve, a couple of things.
Yes, sir.
One, this thing needs to be higher,
Okay.
so it's looking down at the crowd. I learned that. Secondly, we never got to presentation mode today on the, it wasn't in the full screen.
It was a PDF, not a PowerPoint. So I couldn't put it in presentation
Oh,
mode.
so he recorded it.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of pages.
Yeah.
I had put it up.
Yeah,
Well,
and
let's take a look here.
then the other thing logistically, yeah, I can tell you from my experience on Florida, you get it up above and then aim it, point it down a little bit.
Point
So
it
the back,
down.
so the back is higher.
Oh, well, this thing has the ability to
Level.
tilt. You mean like this?
Okay, yeah. No, not that much, but we're getting too much ceiling and not enough people. And there's,
Oh, I
now,
see.
there you go. See, the lights are distracting. I've done the audio AV for a long time.
Sure.
So that's why
No, I'm open to changes and
yeah, I'm
suggestions.
not being critical.
Like this is the only second time
We
I've
need to
used
bring
it.
the tables up closer. If we can get them to set them up closer. All right, now it's looking for me.
Yeah, go out now.
Now, I'm Pete Barnhart, I'm standing here. See how much ceiling you've got there? Just up a little bit. There.
Well, the camera adjusts itself. Like if you go stand over here, it's gonna move the camera.
But it's looking at the ceiling because it's getting bounce off the ceiling.
Right.
But at least it's, oh, I see, it is doing it. Well, that's,
It'll follow you around the room if you're talking.
I see that.
I mean, at the beginning of next week's meeting, we'll tweak
Put
it
it
and
up
see what
higher
happens.
at least. I think it's a better view. So why it's looking at the ceiling right now.
It might be picking up all that bounce.
Yeah, I think so. And it's not finding me right now. Hello, Al. Where are you? Oh, there. Anyway, I did some, ours was a room about to those, the end of that table over there at the wall.
All the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had the camera up there. We learned a lot about, we had the pool and a bright light out here.
Yeah.
So there's some things, but anyway, that's, I think, more helpful.
Yeah.
And if we can just get people to shout.
Yeah. They need to speak louder, not like they're speaking.
If we could bring these tables farther forward and fill them in the slots.
Yeah.
Some over and fill them in the slots.
I'll talk to Christy and have her tell them, like, bring the tables as close as you
Yeah,
can. Kind
just
of
enough
alternate
room
them.
for us to move chairs.
Yep.
Because we're too spread out.
Well, there's always these open chairs. There's 18 seats up here that nobody sits
Nobody
in.
wants to sit in the front row.
No,
I don't know.
don't put up so many tables and force it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's like a church pew. Take away some pews and you get to the front.
Well, I saw Matt got back to you.